Does the Netflix movie Leave the World Behind, which is based on a 2020 novel by the same name, eerily predict what is currently happening today in 2023 and for the future of the United States? You are now within minutes of horror, because in this video I am doing my first semi-movie review about the movie Leave the World Behind, which was produced by the Obamas, and the script was heavily influenced by Barack Obama himself. This review will mainly be a spoiler-free review. I'm not going to reveal anything important to the overarching plot. I'm also not going to reveal the ending as well. This movie is over 2 hours long, and I have come to realize that Leave the World Behind is bad, weird, and scary all at the same time. There are also some things in this movie that really make no sense whatsoever, and that we don't even need to see. Like, for instance, there's one scene where the son is beating his meat in bed, or he's, how can I say it? He is shooting an 8-ball to the corner pocket. He is wrangling the old farm animal. We're actually seeing this on camera for a good while, and you have to ask yourself, why? It has no importance to the character or the plot itself, but we're shown this. Just out of nowhere and random, it would be like me creating an airplane video, a terrifying airplane story for YouTube, and as you're watching it during the middle of the video, out of nowhere, I just start doing the long strokes. And so then you ask yourself, why is Minutes of Horror showing us this? That's the same thing I asked myself when I saw this scene. Then there was another odd scene which took longer than it needed to, where Ethan Hawke, who plays a very cucked father, and if you don't know what the word cuck means, it means a man who is very emasculated, a man who is deprived from all his masculinity. So because he is deprived from being a man, he has to get another man with a nice sized girth, a lengthy girth, to please his own wife. That's what being a cuck means. He's driving looking for help, and he spots a Spanish lady on the side of the road who is also screaming for help. She comes up to the side of his car, he rolls down his window, and she is screaming at him in Spanish. So because this is a liberal-made movie, they already expect the viewer to speak multiple languages. For the rest of us who don't speak Spanish, you're left to wonder what exactly is bothering this woman, because they don't bother to put any English captions, and this scene lasts a good 5 to 10 minutes. He speeds off like a scared good little cuck, and we never see this woman again. A very, very pointless scene. Then we have Julia Roberts, who plays the same character like she does in every current movie that she's currently in. She plays a very angry woman for no reason whatsoever, but to be angry. Even the other characters in the movie ask her, why is she so angry? And she does not have a good reason as to why she's so angry. But now that we know her husband, Ethan Hawke, is not giving her the good pow-pow in bed, it's no wonder why she's angry. For a good 95% of the movie, she plays a one-dimensional character. She's that old man that yells at the clouds for no reason. Then we have Mahershala Ali. Now, I will say I really like this actor. I think he's a great actor, but he does come off as the same character as I've seen him play in other movies. But he also has another weird scene that just was not needed in the movie. It played no vital role to the movie whatsoever, but it does play into that whole cuck narrative. Now, like I said previously, Julia Roberts is angry for about 95% of the movie, until she is alone in the basement with Mahershala Ali. While her husband Ethan Hawke is outside, Mahershala Ali and Julia Roberts are dancing to some sexual bump and grind music in the basement, again out of nowhere. They were down in the basement playing a little bit of that old 90s R&B, you know, the little bit of Jodeci, H-Town. You know, the type of R&B where they get real close to the microphone, they start calling out the year. This is for the 9-7 with my boy Luke. Gonna be knocking the boots. Gonna be knocking the boots. Oh. Julia Roberts even starts to twerk because she realizes she is finally alone with an alpha male. Then after the song ends for a good minute, Mahershala Ali and Julia Roberts begin to embrace. They begin to hug. She's so close to him, she begins to sniff him, and she tells him, you know, I'm married, but just say the word. And as he's holding her, he begins to cry. He says, I can't do this because I have a wife. She's very thick, a very nice BBW. Then the scene ends, she goes back to being angry, and that is that. Like I said, throughout this movie, there are a lot of pointless scenes that just are not needed. This movie also stars a very old Kevin Bacon. You're saying to yourself, this can't be the same kid that was dancing in Footloose. It just can't. The only lengthy scene that he was in was just far too long. The scene was just far too long, and it was towards the end. Like I said, I'm not going to spoil it, but once you see it, you're just saying to yourself, just pull the trigger already. This movie is very weird in the fact that there was just a lot of sexual tension just oozing throughout this movie. It was oozing through my TV. Matter of fact, I was feeling very sexually tense as well just watching it. It was very, very weird. But there were a few moments in the movie that absolutely scared me because I'm thinking to myself, okay, this movie is produced by an ex-president. He has also been helpful in the script. So is he trying to tell us something? Is there a message here that we should be looking for? For one, I have a very conspiratorial brain. I'm always connecting the dots, even when the dots don't need to be connected. But I'm always looking for things that are either very coincidental or are just very odd. This movie was a book in 2020, and Barack Obama began tweaking the script, helping with the script in 2021. But like I said, oddly enough, there are things taking place inside this movie that are currently happening in 2023. For instance, the deer in this movie have gone crazy, they've gone mad. And as of 2023, we have seen a rise in mad deer disease, known as chronic wasting disease or zombie deer disease, which sits in the same family as mad cow or Yakov Creutzfeldt. There is absolutely no cure for this, and your life will come to an end in about a year. We are seeing more and more cases on the rise in 2023. Matter of fact, Yellowstone even confirmed its first infection. Hunters are even being told to stay away from deer given this drastic rise in chronic wasting. So it's very scary to see how they're using the deer population as pretty much a signal for the end of the United States. The movie's premise also centers around hacking and the grid going down, an absolute nightmare scenario for today's world, which pretty much we rely on technology for pretty much everything. The movie even mentions Iran, Russia, and others are behind this hacking group. Again, which is kind of scary given the fact that we have seen a rise when it comes to hacking in the news, and hacking the grid, bringing the grid down across the United States, is a strong possibility. Just a week ago, articles came out that breaches by Iran-affiliated hackers spanned across multiple US states. They were even targeting water authorities and water supplies. Iran has also been accused of hacking airports and airplanes as well in ways we have never seen before. They are hacking the brains of the airplanes, shutting down entire navigational systems. The movie does go out its way to let us know there is no secret shadow government involved in any of this. It is Iran and Russia. There is no conspiracy theory to be had here, that no secret societies are playing a role here whatsoever. But then they let us know that a secret society is behind all this because a friend of Mahershala Ali is a part of the secret society, and he knows play for play how this all is going to go down and how it's all going to end. But as you watch this movie in its entirety, it's pretty much a playbook for how the United States will end. Like I said, I'm not going to spoil the ending, but as you make it to the end, you realize that this is predictive programming. This is what you must do in order to be one of those to survive. And if you can't do it, well, like I said, this is the end. There is no happy ending here. They have already set the perfect storm. They are allowing people from every country that opposes the United States, given what's going on with October 7th, to just waltz in from the southern border. But it has been designed to be that way. Politicians, news, media have been telling the world how we have a very weak southern border, how just anybody can make their way through into the United States with very little repercussion. Matter of fact, they will just be bussed off to New York. So if you're someone that wants to cause great harm to the United States, why not just take your chance and make your way to the southern border? For a long time, the news and the media have been telling us how many of these people coming over are families from South America. They were showing videos of families making their way across, some even losing their lives. But oddly enough, as of 2023, they have been showing us videos and photos of the people who have been coming over. There are no longer families, no longer young children, but men who are of the age to now go to battle. Now is an easier time than ever to come in and do what you have to do, because also America is heavily divided. The prospects of another civil battle within the United States is greater than ever before. If you don't agree with how another American citizen votes, then you must hate that American citizen and vice versa. They are your enemy. And again, this is broadcasted to the entire world, just to show just how divided we are. I am a person that has more of a conservative leaning background, but I do have friends that are also liberal. And if a person votes liberal, I'm not going to hate that person for how they vote. I'm glad they're exercising their right to vote, even though voting is also very corrupt. That person is still exercising their American rights. But that's not what the news media and our politicians want the rest of the world to see. They don't want to see us coming together and talk about how we vote in a very peaceful manner. No, they want the world to see how these two sides, Democrat and Republican, and the people who vote for both sides, come together in a very clashful way. How we argue and fight and cause chaos over politics, showing a very weak United States of America. This movie, which is scripted by a United States president, shows just that. How easy it is play for play to bring down the United States. Now again, without going too far into spoiler territory, there was also a scene where a sound plays and people start to become sick, which was very odd because it reminded me how back in October when those national alerts went off across the United States, everybody was worried they were either going to be turned into zombies or going to become very, very sick. This movie, which has been in production for over 2 years, details just that. The movie even mentions planes being brought down and no longer usable. So everything we see in this movie is very accurate to everything that's happening today, but at a slower buildup. And as you watch the movie, you say to yourself, yes, this very well likely could happen. Even scarier to know that a president was the brains behind this movie. The movie itself is just a solid 3 out of 10. While the acting is good, there's just a lot of scenes that make no sense whatsoever. Where there could have been scenes that further explain the movie or have shown growth to the characters, there were scenes of a young man choking his bird. But I do recommend watching this movie at least one time if you're a person with a conspiratorial mind, with a person that does believe in predictive programming. This movie is conveying a message about the future of the United States. It does it in a sloppy way, but at the end of the day, there is some predictive programming taking place here. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this channel and you want to see more, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please like, as any engagement does help the channel grow. Once again, thank you so much for your support. Freak me, baby. Oh yeah, freak me, baby. Let me lick you up and down till you say stop. Let me play with your body, baby. Make you real hot.